All right, we're here again talking about mountain flying. We're staying on the same subject. So we were up at Jackson County the other week. I had somebody mention that we're right here at leaf season, and what's cooler than to use an airplane to go up to the mountains, say Appalachian Mountains is what we have in this part of the woods. So we can go up there and check out those leaves. How do you go about doing this? Well, as we mentioned before, you need to make sure you have the proper training. So many people get their initial training in the flatlands, as we say, and you don't have a chance to experience the mountain flying type of techniques that need to be used. So first and foremost, make sure you have a qualified person that is with you. There's a few ways you can get more accustomed to mountain flying, and one of those is flying your aircraft at high altitude. So if you've never flown your aircraft at a maximum altitude, you ought to try doing that. Don't forget your oxygen requirements when you reach 12,500 feet. For most of us though, you're in the 10,000 foot range as far as your maximum ceiling, and it really will give you an idea of how that aircraft is going to be reacting. So if you remember the effects of density altitude, and I got my memory aid on, it's called HAT. So it's humidity. If you have a high humidity, you have high altitude, and you have high temperature. All of those three factors equate to a high density altitude. So what does that mean for aircraft performance? Well, that means your performance is not going to be as good. For every 1,000 feet that you gain in altitude, your horsepower is going to decrease by 3%. So that could be quite a penalty when you're talking about density altitude operations is concerned. Now, when I talk about mountain flying and going and leaf season and all that, I'm not really discussing Rocky Mountains. I'm sticking with North Carolina, or the Appalachian Mountains, if you will, in my home state. So that being said, I'm not a very big proponent as far as flying right in canyons and low level and all that. So if you remember the rule, if you have a ridge here and you don't want to cross a ridge perpendicular to it, you want to cross it at a 45-degree angle. And why is that? Well, if you happen to get some turbulence and notice some downdrafts, that you can get away from that situation a lot easier than you could facing that from a 90-degree angle.